Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing as well as can be expected, especially carrying the heaviness of today. I was able to be there with you all in person last year, and it was one of the most joyful spaces of the last year. Joyful not because it was devoid of grief, but joyful because it was shared grief and where we were able to hold it together. And last year, I was inspired to write a new poem, a completely new poem, just for the event that I recited. And now it's in the collection Desecrated Poppies. And for this year, I actually wanted to start by sharing the dedication of Desecrated Poppies. It reads, "To the forgotten trans people killed in genocides, whose names, stories, and even numbers will never be known. To the trans people who survive fascist genocide every day. We are divine." I think the reason that last year was so joyful, was so powerful in a multitude of different ways, is because in events like this one, on days like this one, when we name people, when we share stories of trans siblings and elders and loved ones, we get to reclaim everything that we are, recognizing that history books do not have us because we've been systemically erased time and again. We see this erasure around the world. We see it in every single genocide, including the genocide against trans people on Turtle Island. I won't erase that one, but we see it everywhere. In my work with specifically queer and trans Palestinians and queer and trans Sudanese folks and Kashmiris and Congolese folks, and the list goes on and on about the queer and trans people who are impacted by genocide every single day, I'm often the only person who holds on to any of the stories, who knows any of the numbers. We deserve so much better than that. We deserve a world where there is zero genocides, period. And especially as we go into this winter, post the elections, for a lot of us, none of this is new. For a lot of us, we've always been here. And for some of us, maybe it is new. And wherever you are, just want to send you immense love and also honor of, just because that we are where we are doesn't mean that this is the end. It's never been the end for us. We've always been at the forefront of every movement, of every cause. Nothing would have happened without us. So I want to share the dedication from the second book, Whispers Beneath the Orange Grove. This is my most recent collection, and it's an essay collection about where do we go from here. And the dedication says, "To the people whose lives require trigger warnings, may we be the trigger to the revolution." And I like sharing that because I want to remind you all, everyone in this space, everybody who has been marginalized, everybody who has been seen as an outcast, who's been marginalized on the margins of marginalization, so marginalized even within our own marginalized groups, that we are powerful, that we are literally the fuel for the revolution. The revolution does not happen without us. And so how are you taking care of yourself? How is your community holding you as we are on our way to this revolution to build a liberated world for collective liberation? How are you investing in your own growth and your own understanding? Unfortunately, there are still so many people who don't understand how all of these things are interconnected. How genocide of Palestinians and the genocide of trans people are actually the exact same thing. They have divided us time and again in so many ways that for most people, they don't actually see those connections. But the reality, they are one and the same. The same people genociding my people are genociding my other people. It's literally the same funding, the same people, the same everything. Desecrated Poppies goes into that. There are countless resources that go into that. But for us to truly be at the forefront of the revolution, we have to know that. We have to feel it in our bones. We have to claim the power that exists within us, but we have to understand that we're fighting the same fight. And that goes into how we treat one another, how we take care of one another. It goes into everything. It goes into how we remember one another. And not just selective memories, but truly, what does it mean to remember? What does it mean to remember the dead? And what does it mean to remember the living? Because we're still here. But with the way things are going, some of us will not be here tomorrow. Some of us will not be here next year. Some of our names might be on the board next year. How do we live? How do we honor life? How do we honor death? How do we honor all of it? And how do we use every single thing to move us towards collective liberation? I hope you all enjoy the rest of this evening. I hope that you feel held and cared for within community tonight and every night. I wish you all the peace and a reminder that we will need you, that you matter, that you are powerful, that we are powerful.